I tell ya, I get no respect for my handwriting. It's like I'm trying to create modern calligraphy or something. But have you seen the prices of those fancy calligraphy pens? It's like they're writing with gold or something. I mean, who needs that kind of pressure? I went to a modern calligraphy class and the teacher said, first, you gotta hold the pen like it's a delicate flower. And I'm thinking, delicate flower? I can barely hold on to my wallet. Modern calligraphy is all about expressing yourself, but honestly, when I try to write in cursive, it looks like I'm trying to solve a puzzle blindfolded. I asked a modern calligraphy architect to create one of those beautiful pieces and he said, oh, about 5 hours. And I'm thinking, 5 hours, I can barely sit still for 5 minutes. What's with all the fuss about modern calligraphy being an art form? I mean, I've seen better handwriting on a kindergartner's fridge. I tried to create my own modern calligraphy style, but it ended up looking like a cross between hieroglyphics and a chicken's footprint. So yeah, that didn't go well. Oh, great typography fonts, because what the world really needed was another way for hipsters to express themselves, right? I mean, have you seen some of these font names? They sound like craft beer. Coriel is like the Bud Light of fonts, while Comic Sans is like the Pabst Blue Ribbon. Nobody actually likes it, but it's still somehow popular. And don't even get me started on Papyrus. That's like the font equivalent of wearing I'm with stupid t-shirt to a job interview. You know what's wild? Typography fonts have more personalities than a Kardashian family reunion. From serif to sans serif, they all think they're unique snowflakes. Typography is so extra, it's like the fashion industry, but instead of clothes, it's just different arrangements of lines and curves. Oh, this font is so last season, I'm using a bespoke, small batch, artisanal font now. I was talking to a designer the other day and they said, this font is perfect for conveying luxury and sophistication. And I'm like, dude, it's just letters. Calm down, you're not selling Rolex watches. And have you noticed how some fonts are just begging to be used for evil, like Bloodshot or Deadly Virus? Those aren't font names, those are warning labels. Oh, graphic design trends, because who doesn't love a good trend that's just going to be outdated in a year? Like, remember when everyone was obsessed with minimalist designs and now it just looks like your website is still under construction? I mean, what's next? Are we going to bring back Comic Sans as the new cool font? Because honestly, I'm here for it. Graphic design trends are like fashion trends, but instead of wearing last season's clothes, you're stuck with a website that looks like it was made by a traveling MySpace user. And don't even get me started on the whole flat design thing, because who thought it was a good idea to make all buttons look like they're just, well, flat and lifeless? But hey, at least graphic design trends give us something new to laugh at every year, like, cool, this year's trend is neon colors and overly complicated illustrations. And I'm just waiting for the trend where everything is just a bunch of random shapes and colors thrown together, and we all just pretend it's art. Because that's basically what graphic design trends are anyway. Oh, web development fads, because who needs stability when you can have a new framework to learn every week? Remember Flash, the technology that single-handedly made everyone's computer slower and more annoying, like that one aunt at Christmas dinner. I love how web developers are always chasing the latest trend, like a bunch of hipsters trying to find the most obscure craft beer to drink. Web development fads are like fashion trends, except instead of wearing plaid with polka dots, you're using React with Angular and wondering why nothing works. I'm not saying web developers are easily distracted, but I've seen a developer spend hours debating the merits of tabs versus spaces, and then suddenly they're like, oh, look, a new JavaScript library. What's next in web development fads? I wonder, maybe we'll all be using VR to code while skydiving and eating avocado toast. And have you noticed how every new web development promises to make your life easier, like a timeshare presentation, but really it just adds more complexity and you're left wondering why you bothered?